Hello and welcome back to Not Just Buildings. Now, you might be wondering, do I have the right podcast? What on earth is Not Just Buildings? Well, listener, I'm pleased to tell you that we have renamed Chamber Vibes to something that more accurately reflects the purpose of this podcast, which is to tell the stories of businesses, nonprofits, and institutions in the area of Bedford, Virginia, which we do by talking to the real local people working behind the scenes. Plus, the new name is pretty catchy, and it's inspired by longtime chamber and board member Bill Moss, who always says that businesses aren't just buildings, they're people. Thank you, Bill, for your years of service to our chamber and business community. We appreciate you. Anyway, thanks so much for sticking with us as we grow, and if you're new to the podcast, we're glad to have you join us as we kick off 2026. Now, for our official introduction, welcome to Not Just Buildings, where we interview the local people behind businesses, nonprofits, and institutions in the area of Bedford, Virginia. My name is Foster Garrett, and I am the Director of Marketing and Events for the Bedford Area Chamber of Commerce, which is a membership organization whose mission is to serve as a catalyst for local business success, a convener of regional leadership, and a champion for a vibrant and resilient economy. However, before we get to the interview, I would like to highlight some of our upcoming programming and events. We offer a little bit of everything for everyone, so I encourage you to stick around to learn more about what's next. But if you want to just jump straight to today's interview, no worries. You can find all of our programming on bedfordareachamber.com, and I'll drop our phone number at the end of this episode, so make sure to listen all the way through. First things up, we have In With the New coming up on February 26th from 4 to 6 p.m. at the Bedford Area Welcome Center. I am super excited for this event, especially now that I think we're out of Snowmageddon. It is amazing outside. There's so much water and so much mud, but it's so much better than the ice. I'll take it any day. And hopefully the nice weather will keep up so that we can gather and officially kick off the year by networking at In With the New in just a few short weeks. We had to move that event from January 29th, which is our usual time for starting the new year, but that's okay. I'm really excited for this event. We are partnering with our friends in tourism to bring this to you at their facility, the Welcome Center. If you've never been to the Welcome Center before, I'd be very surprised if you are a Bedford person, but it is absolutely beautiful. It is an award-winning space. They have meeting areas. They have lots of different information for both new residents, tourists, and for people that maybe live or work in Bedford. There's a lot of different historical information, things to do. You can learn about the Bottled and Bedford Craft Beverage Trail. We have a lot of different wineries and breweries in this area, and you can see them all in one day if you want to. But yeah, our tourism team is amazing. We have some stats on the webpage for this event, so you can learn more about some of the things that they specifically do. But we are going to have some free refreshments. There's going to be a mega grand raffle to help you start off the year on a good foot for your business. This includes different exclusive advertising opportunities, sponsorships, tickets, booths at events, all different things. So if you're a chamber member, definitely come on out for this event. It's a great way to connect and reconnect with new and familiar people at the start of the year. Learn about some of our new members. Some of the members who joined our chamber in 2025 will have tables set up, and they'll have information about what it is that they do. They'll have their business cards, and some of them might even have raffles of their own. So it'll be a lot of fun. Even if you're just able to come back by for 5 minutes on your drive home, just stop on in. We would love to see you. If you want to come just briefly or for the full 2 hours, we'd like that too. But that is, again, February 26th. You don't have to RSVP. You can just come by. You don't have to be a chamber member. It is really just open to our community. We want to bring everybody in so that we can kind of charge forward into 2026 together. After that event, we actually have a big school event that we're doing on March 18th. It is the Career and Technical Education Expo, which has been a partnership between our chamber and Bedford County Public Schools since 2017. COVID killed it off for a little bit. We brought it back in 2023, and it has grown a little bit every year. I'm super excited for this event. This has been a big project, but the purpose of it is to show all the 8th graders in Bedford County the different classes and careers and opportunities available to them right here at their schools in our community, and help them choose their 9th grade classes, knowing a little bit more about what is available to them, what do some of these classes actually mean, what are you going to do, and maybe introduce them to some of the jobs that they could have in the future and how Bedford County Public Schools can help set them up for success. So we're bringing in different teachers from the base schools and different businesses to come do demonstrations together, to tell students, if you take my class, you get to do this and this. And then with the professional on the other side saying, they mentioned this skill. I use that every single day. Here's the here's the salary range for what I do and all those types of things. It'll be a lot of fun. And it's happening, like I said, March 18th. That's a Wednesday, from 9:30 to 3 o'clock at Susie G. Gibson Science and Technology Center right here in Bedford. Susie G. actually has 15 different programs that end up with students getting a certification, whether it be in nursing, construction, HVAC, auto repair, all the things. It's really awesome, and we're very proud to offer that in Bedford County. So if your business or organization is interested in connecting with students and getting involved with the schools, if you want to find different ways to partner or hire students, this event is a great way to get started. And even if you're not able to commit, please reach out to us. We would love to connect you with the people at the schools who are making things happen for students, whether it be for career readiness or financial literacy or all the things. So like I said, that's coming up March 18th. We have a lot of other things going on, but I will stop talking now because this podcast is not about me. Like I said, though, you can learn about everything that I just talked about and more on our website, bedfordareachamber.com. And you're always welcome to reach out. We would love to hear from you, whether you're a chamber member, a community member, or just a listener who enjoys our podcast. But that's enough for me. Without further ado, please allow me to introduce today's guests, Michelle Dowdy and Danielle England with the American Red Cross. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you.
Hi, your events sound fun.
They're a lot. They will be fun. You should definitely come to the one in February. That one will be really cool. It's free. You're not pressured to stay long if you don't want to. You can stay the full 2 hours. Some people do, and go meet everybody in the room. But come at least just to get some refreshments, get some free food, bring your kids if you want to. Everybody's welcome.
Yeah, I might.
You might. You don't have to commit. It's okay.
The Welcome Center is beautiful. You are correct about that.
It is really nice.
Yeah.
And the people that work there are amazing. They're on our board. They're ambassadors. They do a lot of things for our Bedford area. Well, before we kind of get into everything American Red Cross, can you both just tell us about yourselves and then about the Red Cross?
Well, I'm Danielle England. I am the Regional Preparedness Manager for the Red Cross here in Virginia. And basically what that means is that I have the pleasure of organizing a team of staff and volunteers who go out and teach people how to be prepared for emergencies, whether that's teaching little kids by teaching them about, practicing their fire escape plan and helping them to be less afraid when it comes to preparing for disasters, or teaching adults the things that they need to know that maybe they didn't even know they needed to know, or they thought something was never going to happen to them. And then they realized, oh, yeah, this can happen to me. And so, giving them some tips and tricks and things that they can do to kind of be prepared, just like a lot of people needed that advice recently with this big winter storm that we had. So, I think people are starting to realize that there's value in some of the information that we have to provide.
Absolutely. And it was really cool having you on the podcast last year and just talking about emergency preparedness, because there are so many things I'd never considered before. And you asked me if I had ever crawled from my bedroom to the entrance of my house. I was like, no. Yeah. Why would that ever occur to me?
Right.
But I've done it now. It's
Good.
Actually kind of hard.
Oh, yeah. Well, and see, now you know that that may be something that you need to practice, because you need to be able to do it in 2 minutes or less.
Absolutely.
I'm so proud of you.
Thank you. Well, Michelle, your turn.
Hi, I'm Michelle Dowdy. I'm our executive director here for our local Red Cross in the Blue Ridge area. And I've been around for 9 years, and I love learning. That's a really cool. I haven't crawled to my house either. So I'm thinking maybe that's something I need to practice also. But I'm really proud of what Danielle does in our preparedness, and we're really grateful to be here and just share a little bit about what we do.
Yeah, so I think I had you on the podcast 2 years ago. So if you want an overview of everything generally American Red Cross, go listen to that one. You want the emergency preparedness one, go last year. But this year, I'm excited to have you both here. For the people who maybe haven't listened to the previous episodes, can you give them an overview of the American Red Cross and anything specific to your chapter?
Sure. So basically, the mission of the Red Cross is to prevent and alleviate human suffering in the face of emergencies by the power of volunteers and the generosity of donors. A lot of that preventing is our preparedness piece. We also alleviate human suffering when you've had a home fire. We come and try to fix your immediate needs. There's other opportunities. We do free smoke alarms to anyone. Does not matter. There's no criteria except that you have to have somewhere to put it. So we do have that. We are nearly half of the nation's blood supply comes from Red Cross blood donors. And so, again, that's preventing and alleviating human suffering. We have other disaster responses that we do nationwide. We move around. We have a lot of preparedness programs. We work with our service armed forces. And we also have an international arm that we don't talk a lot about because it's not something that we're doing locally as much, but we do have local representation, and we have a lot of different opportunities with that and with our service armed forces. Of course, in a larger area like in Virginia Beach, where we have a lot of bases and ships and things like that. So that's a little more heavy in that area. But we do have CBOX here, and we work with our veterans who are in the area.
Gotcha. You guys do a lot of different things.
We do, and I could sit here for like 47 hours
I know.
and bore everybody, but that is a big umbrella. So it could at least get you to our website and through it, and you're like, oh, I want to learn more about this. And then, of course, we're 90% volunteer run. So we're always looking for folks who want to help, but yet also know that it's your community that's the ones giving back through this.
Yeah. And what is the service area for your chapter?
So we're pretty large. The Blue Ridge area, of course, covers Lynchburg, Bedford, Campbell County, Franklin County. We go out to Martinsville, Patrick Henry County, Danville, Halifax.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, Charlotte County, Appomattox. So we have 14 or 15 jurisdictions, but that kind of footprint is what we are. Mm-hmm. So yeah,
that's awesome. And how many? I know that you're 90% volunteer run. I've gotten to know several of your paid staff. How many are there of you?
Well, that's a tough question. So for our chapter only.
For your chapter only.
There's two of us.
There's just two of you?
Yeah. Oh, no, there's three because we brought in Halifax a couple years ago. So it's me and Ralph, who was with me 2 years ago. He is our community disaster program manager. And then we have a community disaster specialist out in Halifax. So
gotcha.
We cover all of that. And then we have folks like Danielle who are for the entire state. Our service armed forces is half the state. So she works with 3 different chapters. 3 or 4, actually, maybe. Our volunteer recruiter works in multiple chapters. Our fundraiser works across multiple chapters. And so we really do rely on those volunteers. You know, just last night we had a board meeting, and as I walked in, there's volunteers in there doing work, picked up smoke alarms, bringing them to Lynchburg.
That's awesome.
Moving some more around. So they are our main manpower.
That's awesome. And I know that when it comes to blood drives, that's usually volunteer run or community run.
Yes. So the person taking your blood is not a community member or a volunteer.
Well, obviously not. Obviously not.
Some
I would hope not.
wonder, they're like, oh, do I have to follow? I'm like, no, we actually, follow the law, and we as professionals, we train really well. But yes, so our biomed reps, we have multiple ones just in our area because they're dealing with so many drives. So they'll work with a community member. Let's say the chamber puts on a blood drive. You're our advocate there. You're going to help promote it. They come and staff it as far as like all the blood stuff. But yes, we have volunteers who do check-in, canteening, and then also kind of that marketing piece, like sending it out to their network saying, hey, come give blood. There's a blood drive here at our office. There's a blood drive here. Yes. Down the street, whatever that may be. So yes, we rely heavily on volunteers in that sense as well.
That's awesome. And I know that you mentioned that there's a severe blood shortage right now.
Yeah, that whole snowmageddon you mentioned earlier, and then the snow, Danielle. Across the country, we're down 50,000 units of blood locally as of last week. So I'm going to up the number. Just in the region 2000, this Bedford, Lynchburg area, we had canceled 26 drives, and that was last Tuesday. So I'm assuming that number was probably higher. That is a lot of units. Most of our drives collect 30 plus units. That means 30 plus donors come in, and some of those drives are much larger. And so we are behind, the shelves. We haven't been in an appeal in a really long time because our drives and folks who have donated have been very consistent. But now we are in a major appeal. So if you are able to give blood, if you can't, but you're like, hey, I want to support this mission, tell somebody, post it, sign up. It's so easy to donate blood. You go to the redcross.org, type in your zip code, and pick a location.
Perfect.
And then if you don't even want to do that, you can call 1-800-RED-CROSS and hit Biomed, and they'll schedule it for you. So we try to make
that's
it,
awesome.
Yes, we try to make it really simple. It's not a very long process. You can, if you get the app, you can do all that pre-stuff before. And then it's just a matter of how long it takes you to donate a pint of blood. I know somebody who used to work with us was very proud of her 3.5 minute donation.
Oh, wow.
I guess, I don't know. I've never tested it. I don't like looking at the blood, so I just look the other way. I can't wait for it to be over, but I know that it's important. And our blood app will actually tell you where your blood goes and what your blood type, what was your blood pressure, and all those different things affiliated with your appointment. So it's a really good health monitor to have as well.
And it'll let you know, you can donate blood every 56 days. And so it will let you know when it's time again. The app really is fantastic. Yeah. And I'm a regular platelet donor. Being a platelet donor is something that you do at one of our fixed sites. So in addition to these mobile drives, most of our larger localities like Lynchburg, Roanoke, they have what we call a fixed site, which is basically a location that is other than like a normal closed day, like a business. It's a place where you can go in and donate consistently. And that's where we do things like power reds and platelets and things like that. Platelets takes a little bit longer. It takes me about 3.5 hours to donate platelets, because what it does is it takes your platelets out and it puts the red blood cells back. But platelets are really important for helping people fight cancer. So, that's also for people who have the ability to do something like that and that kind of time to give up. And you can do that actually once a week if you really want to. I don't have that much time to give up every single week.
That's a long time.
And yeah, it is. But also you get to lay there in a bed and they'll put warm blankets on you and you watch Netflix for 3 hours.
So you moms really out there, fellow moms who are just looking for a way to
exactly.
You go donate blood.
Yeah. Just tell them, you know what? I'm sorry. I have to do my duty for the community. Yeah. I'm going to go donate platelets. You guys fend for yourself. And you get 3 hours of Netflix all to yourself.
Under a warm blanket.
That's actually a great sell.
So we know how that goes.
Yep. 100%.
Save lives and take a break.
Yeah. See? And you get cookies afterwards. There's Nutter Butters in it for you.
Oh, wow.
So
all the things.
That's right.
I've been incentivized.
The only way they could make it better is if there was wine at the end, but I don't think
that's true.
That's probably not a good idea after you donated blood.
Might pass out a little.
Yeah, that is not Red Cross approved.
No, definitely not.
That's a good addition to any Galentine's events going on, though.
Yeah.
Just go donate some platelets too.
Yeah.
Mine as well. Is there anything else that you can donate through the Red Cross? I heard you say Super Red. I don't know what that is.
Power Reds.
Power Reds.
Yeah. So do you have more information? Because unfortunately, because I'm a platelet donor, I don't know a whole lot about some of the other ones, but it has to do with your blood type and then some of the antibodies that your blood may or may not have. And depending on, and of course they test your blood. And so you'll know that, which is another cool thing. The app tells me what my blood type is because I always forget. And so then there's, it'll tell you if you have some kind of particular factor of some kind in your blood. And I apologize that I'm not more knowledgeable about it.
Oh, you're the emergency preparedness person.
Right. I do disasters.
Okay.
But I can tell you that there are specific kinds of donations that are really important and are limited based on the kind of blood that a person has.
Interesting.
And so then for those folks, it's even more important. Of course, O blood is a universal donor, right? And so that's really important because we want lots of O blood to be able to give to anybody. But then some of those other things that are really specific, maybe for folks who have sickle cell or maybe for folks who can only accept a certain type of blood because it has to have these factors, then, obviously the number of people who are going to donate that kind of blood is going to be limited as well. And so we need those people to be really consistent.
So it's important to get your blood typed and tested.
Absolutely.
Which we will do.
Yeah.
Donate. So,
and actually several times a year, they also will run A1C tests. So it'll notify you if you are borderline diabetic or anything like that. And that's just a free thing that they do.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, they just throw that in there. Hey, we're testing your blood for diabetes right now. Or
you're like, okay.
Or they're doing an extra physical. Not to mention, I just had a doctor's appointment and my doctor wanted to know how my blood pressure had been doing. And I'm like, conveniently, it's all in this app because I donate platelets every other week. And I'm able to track what my blood pressure's doing.
That is really cool.
So it also, from a health perspective, has been really useful. And so I'm helping other people and myself. It's a win-win.
And it's free compared to having to go to your doctor and setting up an appointment, which is, first of all, hard enough.
Right.
And then paying for all the different tests and stuff.
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome.
And Power Reds are basically the opposite of the platelets. So it's something, it does not take nearly as long. Some places that do, I know BWXT is a big donor for us, and they have a Power Red machine that will come in. We used to call it double reds. So basically they're taking double the red blood cells, but they're giving you back your platelet and plasma. So
interesting.
She's getting your platelets out and then going through machine. This one, and you're attached to a machine as well, but they're taking double your red blood cells, but bringing back your platelet and plasma. So again, to her point, we really want a specific blood type too, because it can do a lot more and go a lot farther than folks who have a different type. Like mine's a little more rare, and I can only give to certain people.
Oh, what's your blood type?
So I have A negative, which is like 7% of the country.
That's cool.
I can only give to an A negative. And so my blood often leaves Lynchburg, but that's okay. I'm not like, oh, it's got to stay here. It's going where it needs to go. So
that's awesome.
My platelets have gone as far as Pennsylvania, New York.
Oh,
it's really cool because it's like a map. Not only will it email you and tell you where your donation has been processed and where it went, but then there's a little map that shows me in the app all the places that my platelets have been.
That's so awesome.
Yeah.
I love that.
Isn't that cool?
I'm going to have to go give blood. I tried giving blood before, but my iron was too low.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. They were like trying to move around the needle and had me like clenching my fists and moving my legs. And I was like, it's clotting in the thing. I was like, just take it out, guys. Just take it out. But
well, thank you for trying.
Oh, you're welcome. I tried. I will try again because that was a couple years ago. Maybe I'm better now, guys.
And you know what?
Some chicken or something.
Yes.
And some spinach. Isn't that what
some spinach
Popeye
and some
ate
steak
or whatever?
Yeah. Popeye.
And the other thing too is that there are some people who can't donate for whatever reason. Maybe it is that, you have problem veins and it's just not going to work out. Or maybe it's that you don't weigh enough. You have to weigh at least 100 pounds. So people who are really small can't donate and things like that. And so those people, though, can still support the mission and really help us to collect more blood by then talking to other people about it, offering to go with a friend who wants to donate but maybe is nervous. There are a lot of things that that people who can't donate can do still to kind of help with this blood shortage and help us collect the blood we need.
Yeah. And you guys are always looking for donors as well.
Oh, always.
I don't mean blood donors. I mean like money donors.
No money, no mission. That is what our fundraiser says. And I love it. I'm like, there's no more point blank. This is how we make things happen. So yes, we are always looking forward to it. And talking about just home fires, we had a really busy month last year, and we gave out over $15,000 just on immediate needs for folks who had a home fire in the last month. So that's, we've gone to like your home and been able to give some kind of immediate financial assistance along with the other things that we bring to the table at that point.
That's amazing. I think that when people think about helping people that are facing disasters, they think about sending like supplies, food, like blankets, clothing, the things. But money goes a long way.
Yeah.
It's like unrestricted grants. Like being able to put money where you need to put it just makes so much of a difference. And especially like when you've lost everything, gaining back that little bit of control and dignity, I think it just goes such a long way. And that was something that was like really came through to me when I attended Help Can't Wait. Yes. Hearing people's stories of how the Red Cross has helped them, whether it was doing CPR training one time and saving a life, or their house burning down and then immediately the Red Cross coming and saying, hey, we're going to help you find somewhere to stay for the night. Here's this food. Here's this clothing. Here's some money. We're going to take care of you. You're not alone in this. And I think it's so moving, especially it being from 7:30 to 9 a.m. in the morning. You aren't ready to hear that type of stuff at that time. And it just really, I think it really struck me. And I've talked about it a lot since then.
Good.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard not to when like people are sharing those types of stories and a mission that's important and changes so many lives here in our community.
Yeah, when you go to that breakfast, you don't expect you're going to be crying at 8
No,
o'clock in the morning.
You don't.
But it's still a great way to start your day, though, because then
It is.
all the rest of your day, you're thinking about, man, look at the great stuff I helped make happen.
Yes.
Whether it is because I supported by having, like you, having us on the podcast and allowing us to talk about what we do so that more people hopefully will get involved. Like, you help make this happen. And so, that's really cool to be able to walk away from an event like that and go, even if you didn't put $1 in that person's pocket whose house burned down, by finding other ways to support the mission, you still helped that person recover.
And speaking of our event, it's April 16th. And if anyone would like to come, I just started working on some of the material to get sent out in the next couple weeks. So
that's exciting.
So if anybody wants to cry at 8 a.m.
learn about how we are doing things in the community. It's a free event with sponsorships, of course. They help make those things happen. And also donations at the event. So we really encourage that. We have a matching gift this year, some really exciting stuff.
Oh, that's exciting.
We would love to have people come. So if there is anybody listening and is interested, because you did such a wonderful plug for me, thank you. It's just emailing me and letting me know, and we'll make sure we got a seat for you and your organization or whoever you are out there. We'd be happy to have people come and learn more about the Red Cross. That's the whole point of that morning, so people know what we're doing and how we're doing it, and that it's anybody walking down the street may have been impacted by the Red Cross mission.
Yeah. And if you're interested in preventing some of these terrible things from happening, God forbid, there are a lot of different things that we've mentioned throughout this episode that you can take advantage of. If you need a fire alarm, if you need a fire alarm that maybe works for somebody who's hearing impaired, they have those. I've learned a lot about the Red Cross over my time at the chamber. It's been really
love that you can just I don't even need to be here.
I know. I'm like, they've got all the things. But Danielle, is there anything that you want to share? I think this is like a really interesting time to have you guys on because of the blood shortage and because of Snowmageddon. But I think everybody was so worried about losing power this year that's what they focused on, especially compared to last year. Because last year it was awful, like not having power for like basically like 2-3 weeks in a lot of different areas. It's hard, especially when you don't have a good heat source.
Absolutely.
But this year we didn't really lose power in this area, which was amazing. But the ice, nobody was prepared for the ice.
Yeah. And unfortunately, when it comes to ice, there isn't, like what we had. Nobody anticipated that, and that's not something that we deal with on a regular basis. So even when it comes to like municipalities trying to deal with getting it off the roads and things like that, and as a homeowner trying to figure out how do I clear the sidewalk, or my youngest son actually had to chip with a hammer the ice away from the mailbox so that they would get mail. They didn't get mail for like 2 weeks because the mailman couldn't get to the mailbox. So his dad paid him to go chip it off with a hammer by hand. And unfortunately, that's not a thing that there is a lot of preparation that you can do, right? Because ice is ice, and this certainly was wild. But there are things that you can do to prepare your home. And aside from being prepared for a power outage, which of course, one of the benefits of it being in the winter was that you're less likely to lose all your food.
Yes.
Because you could take everything outside. But the problem is along with the ice came these like frigid temperatures that we're also not used to. And, people were not necessarily prepared for the amount of strain that was going to put on their HVAC systems, and, trying to find additional ways to heat their homes. We've seen an uptick in the number of chimney fires that we have responded to. We always see an uptick in fires in the winter simply because people are using all kinds of methods to heat their homes, and not all of them are safe. But even, when people were concerned about a power outage, some of the things that I saw online were people saying, well, if you have a gas stove, you can turn the oven on and open the door.
No.
Oh, please don't do that. First of all, if you have a gas stove and your power's out, depending on when your stove was made, gas won't go to it. It has like a fail-safe switch that when the power goes out, gas cannot even get to your stove. So don't guarantee yourself that you'll still be able to cook, even if your power goes out, if you have a gas stove, because you may not be able to.
And if you turn it on and it doesn't work, turn it back off.
Yeah.
If the power comes on, it will flame.
Definitely. And actually, you should unplug, if your power does go out, you should unplug a lot of your major appliances so that it doesn't overload your circuits whenever everything comes back on, because it can really cause some damage there. But when we're talking about heating our homes, we are seeing a lot of people that have space heaters. And of course, space heaters are great if you have a small area that you're trying to keep warm. But you got to make sure that you keep anything that could burn at least 3 feet away from it. That is clothes, any curtains, rugs, human beings, anything that could catch on fire or get burned needs to stay at least 3 feet away from that. The other thing is that you need to make sure that you're plugging it directly into the socket on the wall. Never plug into an extension cord or anything like that, or even a power strip, because you can kind of overload those circuits. Those circuits are not made to pull all of the electricity for a bunch of different things, and space heaters actually pull quite a bit of electricity.
Interesting.
And then when we're talking about like fireplaces and things like that, a lot of people tend to burn trash in their fireplace. You might be surprised that if they have paper and stuff, you really should not ever put paper in a wood stove or in a fireplace. And the other thing that's really important is to make sure that you have any kind of chimney inspected and cleaned at least once a year, that you get this creosote buildup in there. And that's actually where we see a lot of fires, is because all of that creosote has built up in the chimney, and the creosote is flammable. And so then you have embers that go up and actually catch the creosote inside the chimney on fire. And you can actually have a fire burning inside your chimney for a while.
Yep.
And not even realize it. And that's scary when you think about, like, you're sleeping and you had you thought you put your fire out in your fireplace, but there's something burning
in the walls
that ends up catching your roof on fire, and then your whole house is gone.
So that's actually something that my family discovered after having their chimney checked, is that there had been a fire inside of it sometime in the past year, and we didn't even know.
Wow.
And now my mother is very diligent. Every time we're about to go into the fall season, she's like, let's get it checked, make sure everything's fine, because we don't want our house to burn down.
Right.
And in fact, one of my neighbors at the start of the ice, he was using his wood stove, and he looked up. He had been burning for a little while, and he went to add more, and he looked up into his ceiling, and there was a fire in the corner of the room. He ended up losing his house.
Oh my gosh.
Yes. So and I was telling people before the ice, they're like, we haven't used our fireplace ever, but it's going to take care of us this week. I'm like, please don't use it. Please
Especially
don't use it.
Especially if you haven't used it. If they haven't used it ever, you could have like leaves and nesting material and all. Who knows what creatures have built nests inside your chimney if you've never used it, and then you just want to use it without cleaning it out. Ooh, that's a roll of the dice, my friend.
It's not worth taking the risk for something like that when you can just hire somebody to come check it out, pay the money it costs, and know that you're safe.
Right. And another way to make sure that you're safe, as you already mentioned, is to make sure that you have working smoke alarms.
Mm-hmm.
And so, as you and Michelle both mentioned, we do have a program where we give smoke alarms for free to anybody who needs them. We do not care about how much money you make. We do not care about where you live. Anywhere in Virginia. So if you are listening to this podcast and you are outside of the Bedford community, guess what? We still have people wherever you are. And this actually is a nationwide program. If you're outside Virginia, I can connect you with the people who can install smoke alarms for you anywhere. Michelle's parents had it done, and they're in Florida, right?
Yeah, I was there for Thanksgiving, and I'm like, how old are these smoke alarms? We were leaving the next day, so we couldn't go purchase them and put them in. So I contacted our Red Cross down there, and they were there within days. And my parents were like,
awesome.
Oh, they were so delightful. And I'm like, take pictures for me so I can share it here.
Show the new alarm.
Yeah. So, it was a really nice thing to know I could just call down there. And now I feel it like they are cared for. They have their alarms, and
absolutely
everything's good. And they have a fireplace in Florida. So
and
hardly
in Florida.
Who needs a fireplace?
I mean, it got down to 50 degrees the other week.
It was like 30. It was really cold.
It was 30?
It got real cold. Anyways, all that to say, there's a lot of things that were going through my mind. So I'm very grateful for the Red Cross in that sense, in that program.
Yeah.
And she mentioned questioning how old the smoke alarms were. And that's because smoke alarms should be replaced after 10 years. Even if you think they're working properly, the sensors can start to go bad. So you want to make sure that If you have wired in smoke alarms, we can't come take those down for you. We're not electricians. We're talking about, again, these are volunteers who are going into your home, but we would be happy to put our smoke alarms, which are a 10-year sealed battery smoke alarms, so they don't need a 9-volt replaced or anything. We will put those up right next to your old alarms to make sure that you have working smoke alarms. But we'll also, the standards for where smoke alarms should be put has changed over the years. And so now the standard is that you should have one inside every sleeping area. That does obviously mean bedrooms, but there are a lot of people who sleep in places other than the bedroom. And so if you don't have one in your den, but you tend to fall asleep in a chair or on the couch in there, definitely want to put one there. You also want to put one outside, like in your hallways. A lot of times I think what we see the most is people will have 1 or 2 smoke alarms, and they have one like in the kitchen and then one in a hallway, and that's about it. We actually don't recommend that you put them right in the kitchen anymore, because what happens is you get a nuisance alarm, and then people disable them, and then you have completely negated the whole purpose for having a smoke alarm, right? The other cool thing about the ones that we install is they have this special kind of new magical sensor. I don't know how it works, but it can tell the difference between you've burned a bacon or taken a really steamy shower versus the smoke from an actual home fire. Like I said, Kidde is our supplier. They're also a very popular supplier. You can purchase Kidde smoke alarms, so you may be able to purchase the ones with this special multi-criteria sensor now as well, but I don't know how it works, but it's pretty impressive.
And it says fire now.
Oh, yeah.
They actually say fire
too.
Because people get used to the beep, beep. Okay, I'm trying to go to sleep. And it will yell fire and alert you.
And studies have shown that children and adults with like dementia and things like that respond better to the spoken word if they're being awoken. And so they're more likely also to wake up and actually respond. Because if you have young kids and you have ever accidentally set the smoke alarm off, you may have experienced that your children not wake up. And that's slightly terrifying.
Yeah.
And so that's another reason for putting one in their bedroom, because it's going to be louder and we want to wake them up. But also then that's why having the ones that speak is helpful.
That is really cool.
Yeah.
That's very interesting. I will say I used the Red Cross's website 2 weeks ago because my pipes froze.
Oh.
And I was so stressed out because I don't have central heat where I live. And I've been relying on space heaters mostly. But I happened to spend the night at a friend's house, so I unplugged most of my space heaters because I was scared that my place would burn down.
Well, that part was smart.
That part was smart, but it was not enough heat to keep my pipes warm.
Yeah.
So when I came back, I had no water. I panic called my landlord. I'm like, what do I do? What do I do? He's like, let's turn it off. Let's turn off the water. And I looked up on the Red Cross's website. I was like, what should I do? Turn off the water to your house, whether it's a well or otherwise. Then open the faucets on the cold side and just let it drip. And everything's fine so far. Knock on wood.
Great.
There's still chance, as it gets warmer, there's still a chance that it could burst if there's ice further down. But so far, so good.
Well, and it's warming up, so
It's warm.
Right.
I've got my fingers crossed. I was like looking at the ground today. I was like, is it wet? I'm like, everything's wet. I can't tell yet. But I'm very grateful that my landlord is super, super sweet and understanding, because I was not trying to do that, but I'm unused to this icy weather and I did not really think about it. But apparently a lot of people, if you use water to heat your house or your heat pump is a little bit further away from where your water source is, everybody's been having issues with their pipes freezing on and off.
Yeah.
So please be careful and check the Red Cross website for information.
There is information there, and also in the emergency app. So we have an app that you can download. Yeah, it's just called Emergency. So when you search in your app store, you'll see a white square with a red exclamation point in it, and that's our emergency app. And not only can you get advice about how to respond to all kinds of different disasters, and freezing pipes feels like a disaster when you're in the middle of it, so we'll count that. But you can also set alerts. So if there is some kind of weather emergency or other kind of disaster, it's like 35 different things that you can set up alerts for on the emergency app. Not only can you do that for where you live or where you are currently located, but you can also set up alerts for other places. So my father lives in Texas, and I have an alert set up for the area where he lives. And then I have a great aunt that lives in Southern Illinois, and I have an alert for her. So if they are having some kind of emergency, my phone will also alert me, and then I know to check on them. So it's a really helpful, and it's completely free, the app.
That is really cool.
And if you need it also, if we're ever in a situation where you need a shelter, it has a map that'll show you where all the shelters are as well.
Oh, that's awesome. That is very excellent. Thankfully, we have an amazing warming shelter right here in town.
Yes.
That has been very highly used over the past couple weeks.
I imagine it has.
Yes.
They ended up opening up one in Lynchburg that was what isn't normally an all-day 24/7 shelter, but during the very cold snap, they opened it up. And of course, we always appreciate that for our unhoused population. We want to make sure they're as taken care of as possible. And they do very often come stay in Red Cross shelters, and we treat them like every other client who's staying in our shelter, and also provide them transition assistance just like anybody else. We're here for everybody.
That's awesome. Well, our time is coming to an end. Is there anything else that you guys want to add? Anything that we haven't talked about that's important to include?
I would just like to say, just hearing your experience with learning a little bit about us a couple of years ago, attending our things, and now going to our website, that is so common for anybody. And so, folks, I just hope that whoever's listening knows when you do have a question, or if there is something as simple as, hey, my pipes froze. I don't know anything about pipes freezing either. I came from Florida. I didn't know that world. Go to the Red Cross is a great resource, and we have that for almost everything. And if you want paper copies, we have stuff in our office. Well, what to do when the roads are flooded? How do I handle this? Tornado prep, hurricane, whatever it may be. So there's a lot of that information on our app, our website, in our office to help prepare you. And then also we are here after the fact as well. If you think, oh, can the Red Cross help me? Just call and we'll find out. But, if you have a home fire, we want to be there for you. If you can donate blood, we want to be your stop to donate blood, because not only are you helping those things, but you're also helping the other mission that we're doing, stay alive and keep going. So I think you're a great example of how the Red Cross really reacts in a community by, hey, I had a question, and they do this as well. And that's kind of how you learn about the Red Cross, because there's so many facets to it. So thank you for being such an advocate for us as well. We really appreciate that.
Well, thank you for helping me. Well, thank you both so much for joining me today. If people want to get in touch with you, what's the best way to do so?
So you can email me. That's probably the best way for me, michelle.dowdy@redcross.org. If you have a question about anything, you can go on our website and find that information as well. LinkedIn. And if you say, oh, I really want to know more about preparedness, Danielle can come to your offices, your schools. We do preparedness classes for little kids. We'll come do a preparedness before the snow. She did 2 Teams calls for our volunteers and anyone who wanted. She posted on in Lynchburg, different Facebook apps, different Facebook pages and things, and said, hey, just come learn more about prep. And so those are things we can offer. We have other classes, other things we can do just to come give some info. If you want to set whatever your question is, if you want to reach out to me, michelle.dowdy@Red Cross, I will connect you where we can get you set up. So that's probably the easiest thing than telling you a bunch of stuff, or just go to our website and try to find our number and all those things. Either way, but I can be a funnel for you if that's the easiest thing.
Yeah, that's perfect. Well, thank you both so much for joining me today.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Of course.
It's great as usual.
You're listening to Not Just Buildings, hosted by the Bedford Area Chamber of Commerce and produced by Media Squatch. There are so many great people working together to make the Bedford area a great place to live, work, and do business, and we hope that by telling their stories, our listeners are able to become more connected to our community. After all, there are so many hidden gems, services, resources, and amazing opportunities just waiting to be seized right here in the area of Bedford, Virginia. If you like this interview, I have great news for you. New episodes come out every week, and we have lots of episodes for you to catch up on in the meantime. Episodes are available on Media Squatch Plus, our producer's local streaming app, as well as Spotify, Apple Podcasts, our weekly newsletter, Facebook and website, and anywhere else you can find podcasts. If you want to learn more about us at the Chamber, we encourage you to check out our website, bedfordareachamber.com, or give us a call at 540-586-9401. Thanks so much for listening, and keep an ear out for the next episode of Not Just Buildings.